Hello and welcome to the show. Yes, this is live where anything could happen. In the second episode of Video Marketing for Startups Zero to Hero, we'll be talking again to Gary Twining-Wright of Twinings Security and Consultancy. Following on from our strategy scoping session in last week's show, we'll be discussing the strategy we have designed for him based on the insights we gained from him and our research we've done, and we'll be following his journey each week. I'm once again joined by our highly respected digital marketing expert, entrepreneur, Olando, Salina. Drumroll.
Hello.
My name's Timothy Spiers. I'm a content creator and marketer, and I run Slipstream Creative Agency, the show's sponsor. So we'll be here every Tuesday at 12:30 discussing video marketing and production and all that cool stuff. So the purpose of this channel is to demystify video marketing and help all you guys create better content and distribute it effectively, creating better businesses for a better world. So thank you all for tuning in. So please do put in the comments where you're from and let us know also what industry you're in. So do let us know all of that. So just to follow on, so why video is such a powerful marketing tool? I'm just going to switch my screens here. So yes, well, when we watch a video, we're using more of our senses than when we're looking at an image or reading text. Not only are we using sight and sound for a video, but we're using the moving elements of the video. So our brains and our eyes are more captivated than just looking at a still image. And in fact, videos are also much more memorable, with 95% of the information retained compared to only 10% for plain text content. And a video is also capable of engaging with your emotions. In fact, one study found that the emotional response we have to an ad influences our intent to buy more than the actual content of the ad. Most importantly, though, video increases the ability to connect with the viewer and build trust faster than any other medium. So, guys, just wanted to welcome our guests in today, introduce our guest today, Olando. So, Olando, how are you doing today?
Hi, Tim. I'm all good. In nice 29-degree weather when we're in the office, while in the office.
Well, yeah, so no air conditioning? What's going on there?
It is air conditioned. I'm at Waterloo today, so I'm loving the view out of this building. The perks of being able to work remotely in different locations is fun. Is air conditioned, so I have that benefit today, and a lovely view outside of this box room that I'm in.
Nice. I'm a bit jealous actually, because I've just got a big fan, but because of this, I've got it on right now, so I'm heating up nicely. And so also welcome to our special guest Gary to the show. Just to recap, Gary has 30 years of experience in the private security industry, and Gary and his team provide close protection, man guarding, door supervision, first response and other undercover teams for companies and individuals in the public and private sector. So Gary, how are you doing today?
I'm good, Tim. Nice to see you guys.
So I hear you're really busy. You're on a training session today then?
Yeah, I'm in Plymouth today. I'm training the door supervisor course for another company at the present. So yeah, but then I've got a very busy evening. I'm off down to, I'm currently in Plymouth. From here, I'll be going down to Salter Ash tonight to talk to another client regarding a large project he wants to put together over the next few months. And then so I'm here till Saturday, and then the following weekend, I'm all over the place, to be honest with
you. I'm usually all over the place, but that's just when I'm at home. But
I hear you.
Sounds full on.
Sounds full on. So, well, thanks for taking the time, to be on the live with us today. And so I understand if you've got to shoot off, that's fine. We can go over all this information with you again. Of course, you can watch the replay. So, Gary, last week you told us a lot about yourself and your business and how you want to develop it. and you kind of wanted to know the best strategy to take it forward. Talking to you also felt that your objectives are to establish your brand presence and position in the industry, increase awareness of the business and brand, increase awareness of your many highly skilled and services that you offer. Also expand the training arm of the business, which you're talking about right now. And really to become the go-to business for security and crime prevention. But also to grow your network and your authority in the industry. Does that sound right to you? Is there anything you want to add to that?
I think you've hit the nail on the head there, Tim. I mean, that's what we do. We do exactly what it says in the tin. We do security, and we specialise in security. We're not a what they call them an all-round stop shop. We only specify exactly what we do. Security is what we do. And we build up on that, so we become specialist security operatives. That's why we supply medics. That's why our guys are undercover. That's why they can use so many skills in handcuffing, mental health awareness, first aid, etc.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, cool. We also really got the sense that you value things being done properly, to a really high standard. And in fact, your own team, you like to have them highly trained and to be really accountable. And it also seems that you kind of feel that about the whole industry that you're in, and you kind of would like to sort of create change within that. I also noticed you're really passionate about vulnerable people being protected, and that's really important to you. Would you agree with those?
Oh, 100%, Tim. I am completely passionate about it. As I said before, we are there to look after everyone, not just vulnerable people, but everybody. You come to our events or shows or anywhere we're working, we're there to look after our clients and their interests. And everybody, in events and doors and shows, every one of their customers. So, I'm very passionate to make sure everyone is safe and everyone goes home safely and everyone has an experience, enjoys the experience of wherever they're going. Yeah,
I think that's great. I mean, I think those things really say a lot about you and you as a person, and I think those, we look at what's people's USPs, but I just think those things are so personal to you, and there's a real passion there, and it tells me like why you do what you do. So I think those are really good things to for us to focus on, as we're looking at marketing you and your business. And really, I feel there's two clear target markets here, really. There's individuals, SMEs and corporations that require your services, but also other security firms and individuals within those businesses or your industry that require training. So Olando, what are your thoughts here?
Thanks, Tim. When we did some research, obviously, into the industry, and we looked at the different types of businesses based on the feedback from Gary. So SMEs ranging from bars and nightclubs to individuals who are looking for close protection, and then you're looking at other security firms that may be able to white label or actually take the training on from yourselves to pass on to their employees. So there's lots of different sectors. Even though it's two target markets, it's still broken down into individuals because it's different sectors within that. So you're looking at entertainment, you're looking at personal, you're looking at corporate. So it's still broken down into different sectors. Now, what we did from that, or what we will do going on from that, is create some client personas.
Yeah.
Right. So we'll take, for example, the nightclubs and bars. What does that person look like? What does that client look like? Where are they based? What are they looking for from a security operative or security provider versus, someone who has particular net worth that needs close protection versus schools, that sort of thing, and put into perspective what all these different people look like, what they will look for, the types of media they use or consume to get, to put together a strategy to communicate with these guys.
Yeah. No, I think that makes sense to me. So really, what we want to do, Gary, is build video content that will help you develop your personal brand because you are your business. And I think the best way to do this is through a series of videos that position you as the expert, as the thought leader in your industry. So we've designed a content marketing cluster model. And what that is you're taking your core content and making that your pillar content, as we call it, and then around that you create lots of videos that support that core pillar piece of content. So, for example, if we made some content around first response teams, so you could make a video that talks all around that, or video your guys in action, also with some talking head. And then you can build other pieces of content all around that then feed back into that. So you might do content around how those teams are trained, how they're accountable, why that's important, the type of kit they're needed for that. So all those things are relevant to first response teams.
Yeah.
So you could do then lots of short cutaway videos all about those surrounding pieces of information. And all that does is it helps your audience really understand more about what you do. They can see the depths you go into understanding it and developing it, and just keeps repositioning you again as the expert. So another core piece, to give you an example, would be perhaps close protection. So likewise, you create a video around close protection, and then you do other supporting pieces of content, other little short videos that sit around that. And they could be like the importance of research. So if you're doing close protection, you might research your client, you might research the environment that you'll be working in to protect him, so that you're preempting any problems or issues ahead of time, about being discreet, the whole discretion. There could be another video around unarmed combat, which I think
that's what I'd like to see.
I think that's a must, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd like to see Gary get this Mai Tai in action.
Yeah. We want some takedowns, please.
Yes.
Techniques, Gary.
Well, I do have a YouTube video there, so
Yeah.
look at that at a later stage.
Absolutely. So, and then videos around actually the team in action, So, I think all of these could be quite powerful pieces of information content, and bringing your whole wisdom to this, rather than just putting something out there of like, well, we offer close protection, and you're making a sales type video. Bringing your wisdom to each section. So these types of videos are really good at building your personal brand, and the kind of the know, like, and trust factor. I think that's like so key and so important. We're so bombarded with information. We kind of want to know who you are. We want to know, why would I choose to work with you? So the more you can break that down and connect with people, and as I've pointed out before, I think video is like the ultimate way of doing that. I think getting yourself on camera would be amazing. Are you up for that?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I'm not camera shy at all, Tim.
Well, couldn't tell, Gary. Couldn't tell.
No, and that's great. And you've been bold enough to jump on these lives as well. And I think that's great. And that's, that in itself helps, your audience and people get to know you. And what we do say to people that, if they find this kind of thing difficult, we have performance coaches. We help people with script writing. We use, if necessary, auto cue. Some people just like to have their subject matter and their key points and shoot from the hip. Which for someone like you, because your subject so well, I think you probably would just need your bullet points and your sort of structure that we would help build out with you, and then run with it.
Yeah.
So that's really interesting. That's brilliant. So Olando, where would you say we should focus our efforts? I know we've talked about that, but could you sort of explain to Gary the direction we should take?
Okay, so obviously we're talking about video marketing strategy, and that being a core part of your overall strategy to communicate to different audiences who you are, Gary, what you bring to the table and what your business brings to the table. So obviously choosing the right platforms to communicate that is essential, right? So from the B2B, business to business perspective, obviously looking at LinkedIn to try and increase your authority and become a thought leader, right? Because we're talking about YouTube and being the second largest search engine in the world, YouTube is, I would say, is definitely a must. And you're looking at doing training. So sometimes, the training that you do will be quite theoretical or theory, and then there'll be physical aspects of it. The theory side of things and giving some of your wisdom could be done on webinars, right? And then even though it may not be the right platform for a B2B, more businesses are jumping on your Instagrams and your TikToks, especially if it's video related, and we can communicate within 30 seconds, 15 seconds, a minute, different key aspects of what Gary and the business does.
Yeah, perfect. Does that make sense, Gary?
Yeah, that sounds it's very logical, completely.
And we can help walk down that whole path and to make it sort of quite digestible. So Olando, tell us a little bit about your thoughts on calls to action with promoting and distributing these videos. What will our call to actions be? If you just can expand on that a little bit, please.
Okay. Well, for each platform, it'll be slightly different. That'll be part of your core strategy as well. So, we're looking at the objectives we're trying to achieve. We set some KPIs for those. And one of the objectives one of the KPIs will be to drive traffic to the website. So let's say we put out a post on LinkedIn, which is about, close protection or training, for example, and you have a page on your website that is specifically, or you build a landing page that's specifically about that particular service or topic. It'll be a snippet of information. The call to action is, click link, visit our website for more information. Or you want people to subscribe to your webinars that's coming up. So you want a call to action, subscribe, add to your diary, this sort of stuff. So it all depends on what your campaigns are, what platform we're using, and what we're trying to get people to do. And one of the most important things that I've learned over the years of doing this is you tell people what you want them to do, and you tell them again, and you tell them again. So you keep reminding them, this is what I want you to do. Because sometimes people are a bit lazy in their decision making. So if you actually make it easy for them and say, look, you should subscribe, you should register, you should click to find out more. The more they see that, the more likely they are to do it.
I fully get it.
Brilliant. Tim, I think we lost your audio.
I think we definitely lost Tim's audio.
Yeah. Well, he did say where anything can happen, Gary. So,
this happens when you go live.
It happens when you go live.
Am I back with you?
You are back, Tim. Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you very much. I'm glad to be here. And
glad to have you.
Cool. Right. I'll just carry on then, shall I? We talked a lot about video marketing, and I think also as we've looked at your video marketing, of course, it wants to, as we've said at the beginning, part of your whole content marketing strategy, and indeed part of your marketing strategy. So, there's other things that for your digital footprint, for your SEO, and really for your customer journey and their experience. There's other things that we would also recommend you'd want to consider, you want to take into account. Olando, do you want to just cover some of those points, Gary?
Yeah, of course. I mean, before we even get into the crux of video marketing, we need to establish, your brand, your branding. So is your logo, is your tone of voice, is your color palette, is your typography, is all of that already agreed by yourself? Is it approved? Are you happy with it? Does that need tweaking in any way, or redeveloping, redesigning? Once we get to that stage, once we get all those things in effect, aligning that with your mission and your vision and your values, because all that is part of who you are, telling your story of you, Gary, the owner of this business, the face of the business, and the business itself, right? So once we establish all these things, that goes into your website, that goes into your social media, digital side of things, that goes into your video, because you don't want to spend money right now creating a video and your logo is not right. You know, the tone that you're speaking isn't right, because you're speaking however it was been designed before, but you actually want to speak as you, because you're more comfortable speaking with more authority as opposed to more relaxed and laid back. You know, it depends on what you design for the brand. And then you're looking at the support channels, right? So what will support all these, the video marketing and support the strategy going forward? So looking at email marketing, you know, looking at PR, looking at guerrilla marketing, for all you know. It all depends on what the research will pull out that works well as a marketing support structure for your business. And then obviously, again, going back to the digital side of things, we're talking about websites and getting Google Analytics set up, getting Google My Business page set up, making sure that you're found, adding all the right details for local listings, creating your social platforms, putting out the right bios there. So again, the list goes on and on and on. There's lots to consider, lots to be done. But once we get it all put together, based on the foundation, your brand, your core mission, vision, values, right? This is the goals we're trying to achieve. These are our target audiences. This is the media they consume, and this is the type of messages they want to hear. These are the channels we're going to go out on. Then literally the next steps is to start doing it.
Yeah, perfect. I think that gives a much more rounded view, I think, of what's ahead of us and the goals and of the overall branding and building of your business. Does that make sense, Gary?
Yeah, I fully get that. I mean, because branding is very important, and to get the branding right, needs to be the right. People need that image to have it out there. And again, to set these things up correctly, as you say, if your voice doesn't sound right, the image isn't quite right, it has to be correct. Because you want to put yourself out there, and you want to be visually pleasurable, is that the right word to use? Eye pleasing. And also, your branding's got to be pleasing. You know, look at McDonald's. Everyone knows the McDonald's sign. It's ingrained in us. You know, other great ones. DPD, another great one, and all the rest of it. They've got great branding, and you know those logos and signs miles away. Tesco's, Sainsbury's. You know what it is straight away.
Yeah.
Even their taglines, you don't even have to see the logo, but you hear "I'm loving it." You know that's McDonald's. You know,
every little helps. Tesco's.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I can also appreciate, it can often sound like there's so much to do, and it's like, how do you eat the elephant? And it really is piece by piece. So what we suggest is we hit the video production, and then we've got the content. In the background, we can start looking at the website and these other elements of the branding that Olando's highlighted. How does that sound as a bit of a project plan?
Yeah, I mean, let's get it working on it. I mean, it sounds like a great idea. I'm looking forward to do the videos and get this timeline started.
Yeah, let's get on to the fun stuff, some production. Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
So next week, Gary, let's rejoin on the live stream, and we can discuss the video marketing plan for you, the actual content we're going to create, and then we'll jump into the actual production of that. Of course, I think it's important that we do talk about and have a proper strategy around the actual videos that we do create, so we're not just creating random videos, as we've talked about in the video marketing plan here. So the videos we're creating are purpose-driven videos, and I think a lot of people are really interested to understand how we drill down and how we do that. How does that sound with you, Gary?
Sounds like a plan, Tim.
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds
Okay,
like
cool.
a plan.
Good. Okay, well, thanks very much, guys, for joining us today. And as I've said, next week we'll be talking to Gary about his video production plan. So follow his journey week by week on this show, where we help him with his strategy, content production, and video marketing. If you need any support or advice to developing your strategy or production, please reach out to myself or Orlando. And thank you for joining us, and see you same time, same place next week. Thanks very much.
Thanks,
See you
guys.
next week.
Thanks, guys.